Hello all, and welcome to the second episode of this micro series on self preparation. And in this episode I'll be focusing on general studies. The first episode, if you have not seen it, go and watch it. It is about laying the foundation. That is a very important first step. As we all know, foundations are the most important things in whatever we are doing. So the first episode is really important and it lays the groundwork. Now in this episode we will be talking about general studies, which is again the foundation, I would say, because most of the marks in mains, there are many papers, but out of that 4 papers are from general studies itself. And otherwise also in the prelims, the first paper one is all general studies. Sometimes in the interview, in essay also, it is very important. So we can say that 70-80% of the entire syllabus is general studies, and that is why general studies is the most important part. So in this episode we'll be focusing on general studies, how to prepare for general studies. Now the first most important point is that something which I have discussed before also, I think in the first episode also, that one of the initial steps should be to know the syllabus of the exam. So same with general studies, it's although it's a very generic term, and when we say general studies, you are supposed to know everything, little bit of everything. It can range from anything from science to civics to history to geography, literally anything. But yes, there is a defined syllabus. UPSC provides that. So go and go through it and then take a printout and paste it, because this will be the most important part. So that syllabus you need to know by heart, so that you know what to read. Because when we say general studies, people people will tell you to read a lot of things. I will also tell you to read a lot of things, but of course there is a limitation of time, there is a limitation of so many factors which are there. And then we need to do smart studies, because if you just go and reading everything which comes your way, this preparation will, believe me, this preparation will never end. There is so much to read, there is so much to learn, there is so much to know, there is so much to knowledge to get, that by the time you think you are ready, which will by the way never come, the exam, your eligible age will be gone. So smart preparation is most important. And for that, this learning syllabus by heart is one of the things which will definitely help you, because it is like a filter, and it will tell you what to read, what to grasp, what to leave. Because you have to also understand that when you are studying, you need to learn what not to read, what not to study, what to let go also. So that art is very important, and that kind of judgment will only come when you know what is expected. Only syllabus will not give you the idea. That is why I have also written here the question papers. The last 5 years particularly, they give you the trend, because many times trends change, especially when we were giving in that 2011 year, 12 year. Suddenly there were so many changes. Suddenly CSAT came, then it became qualifying later, and so on and so forth. So it will keep on changing. So that is why I say the last 5 years you can draw a kind of pattern, especially in mains exam, which are more or less have been stable. But the outlook there also is changing, as we discussed last time also, that now more conceptual clarity is being asked rather than factual accuracy and all these things, which is very good. I think this exam should be more about clarity of concepts and not the how much you can mug and how much you can remember. Why should we remember these facts and all that? Because everything is just a Google search away, everything is on your smartphone, everything is on your laptop. So why should we test students or aspirants on that? It should be on the conceptual clarity of the topics. It should be more like applied, like whatever you have learned in political science or public administration, when it actually comes to the situation on the field. That way ethics exam is very apt. It asks for situation based questions, so those kind of analysis. But to take the right judgment, of course, you have to know and understand and kind of remember all these important facts so that your decision making is an informed one. So at the same time, you need to learn all the data and facts, but at the same time, it should be more on a conceptual clarity level, that you should be able to use them to make the right decisions, the right analysis, the right presentation, the right debate, presenting facts and presenting your argument. So that should be the approach with facts. So with question, if you do this together, the syllabus, if you learn it by heart, and also if you have gone through, and if you multiple times you've gone through the question papers of the last 5 years, if you have time, I say go with 10 years. Then you have a kind of filter whenever you read the information. For example, whenever you are reading the newspaper and you have this filter on, that you know that what is going to be asked and what is expected, so you know what to read, what to take inside, what to leave it, because you cannot read everything, you cannot remember everything. So this is very important, the first point. It helps you to shape your preparation, to make your preparation much smarter, and that is very much required in this exam. Now apart from that, I hope in the first class, if you remember, in the episode 1, I told you the one of the most important points for foundation is the NCRTs, going through the NCRTs, because they are very simple to read, and the basic facts are there which will help you to make a very good foundation, to very good basis of your general studies preparation mostly. So that is why this NCRT, just reminding you, for those who have not watched the episode 1, NCRTs is very important before you start your general studies preparation. Now next point I want to mention is that, see, this exam, this general studies is so vast, and you can expect questions literally when you say current affairs is in the syllabus, so anything happening around the world on any topic or any domain in any subject is basically is something which can come in the exam. So you need to know little bit of everything. Jack of all trades, as we say, generalist. Anything is going on, any debate is going on, you should be able to understand what it is. Any topic you read in the newspaper, you should be knowing that term. So that the point here I'm trying to make is that if you have to do good, if you want to do good in general studies, then you have to develop this, inculcate this yearning to learn. That whenever you come across a term which you have not read before, heard before, and which is very new to you, it's like a new jargon, then you must immediately have this desire to know what it is. So I remember when I was preparing in the initial phases, I came to know about so many new things, and I was surprised that even though I have read the NCRTs before, and I'm a graduate I'm an engineer, but still these very basic things I was not aware of, and I was really shocked. And then that moved me into a mode where wherever in the newspaper I used to come across a term which I don't understand, or which is new to me, or the clarity is not there. So I made it into a mission that I will master this particular word today itself. I will read about it, I'll make short notes, I will do more research on it if needed, and I'll get the clarity today itself. So that is something which has helped me really in my GS, because I was not in touch with all these things for several years, and when you come back to this domain, you find that there is so much to learn and understand. So this kind of approach is very important, and in this exam, if you ask me, the most few of the most important things which are there. One is, of course, writing skills. I feel is very important, because to clear the mains exam, and which is the core part of the exam. And one is this yearning to learn. So if you have this yearning, many people have, if they come across some word, they feel that anxiety, and they want to know about it, they will research about it, read about it. So if you are that kind of personality, then UPSC is the exam for you. If you don't have, then you need to inculcate this yearning to learn. There cannot be anything in the newspaper which you should not be able to talk about, which you don't understand, which you don't know the basics of, right? So that kind of quest should be there. That kind of fire needs to be within you to master this general studies, and believe me, it will help you a lot, and it will interestingly, it will become your attitude also towards life. So whatever is new is coming, you want to know about it, you want to learn, and it will help you beyond the exam in your life. Also, we talked about personality development. There is a separate 1 hour long stream on my channel. If you can, if you are interested, please do watch that in detail, how to improve your personality specifically with these exams in mind. So in one of the things, this yearning to learn, if you develop this, if you inculcate this, this will definitely benefit in your personality development. You'll be much more knowledgeable, you can talk about various issues, and you'll be ready for so many other competitive exams as well. So this second point for general studies is at the heart, and just think about it, give it some time, and when you really inculcate this habit, it will greatly benefit you in your preparation. In fact, it is a big motivator as well. In this exam, we need a lot of motivation, and we will talk. There is one special episode dedicated on this thing later on. But I'm telling you that this habit, if you inculcate, it will greatly motivate you also for this exam, because a lot of motivation to read and understand more and more is required. So this kind of have this yearning to learn, and you must know a little bit of everything. Like a generalist on any topic, you should be able to speak when asked to, or give points in pros and cons, and give a little analysis of that whole impact that particular topic is making. Now next, when you develop this yearning to earn, what will happen is, whenever you read newspaper, let's suppose today you have come across a new term, some new term like let's say cryptocurrency. Earlier you have just started your preparation, you have not heard about this, that government is looking into the making the laws into cryptocurrencies, and whether it's a legal tender. So suppose this is the term which cryptocurrency, of course you must have heard before also, but whether it's a legal tender or not in India. So that kind of question comes: what is legal tender, what is this phrase, what does this mean? So if that is what coming to your mind after reading it, so then today's your work is to research on it. What is legal tender? Who has the power to make something into a legal tender? Are there countries where this cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or different type of cryptocurrencies, are they legal tender in some of the countries? So do your research. These days, of course, in our days, YouTube, there wasn't, of course YouTube was there, but so much of content was not there. Now you have so much of content on everything. So if you want to read about crypto and understand about cryptocurrency, so earlier we used to Google and read and stuff like that, but you have now audio visual content, and there are some of the content creators are making this wonderful educative videos, which I really appreciate about YouTube. It has given the platform for so many educators to reach out to so many students which are not having that kind of resources. For example, this series is for those who cannot, who do not have the resources to go and join the coaching. So how to self-prepare. So through the medium of YouTube, I am able to reach you all, and I think it's a great, and that way YouTube is a great platform to share information, to reach out to people who need information. So it's amazing, and to do your research also. These kind of so many YouTubers are there who are making such a great content. So please make use of this platform. So the point here is, whenever a new term is coming in the newspaper and you are not knowing about it, this yearning to learn, that should kick in, and you should go through YouTube, go through Google, Wikipedia, just all the mediums, and research about that particular topic, and make short notes. Always remember, whenever you are reading something, make short notes, so that you don't have to go through this whole research again. So that's the whole point of short notes. So once you do that, then next time you read the this legal term, everything will come back. Okay, so I know this legal tender. So if you follow this practice where you research on the words which you don't understand, right, in the newspaper. So you'll see within 6 months, 7, 8 months, you'll see that you're trying to, now you, whatever you're reading, you know the terms. Of course, once in a while new terms come in and you can do that incremental preparation, but I think mostly after a year we reach at a stage where we are generally understanding the basics of everything. So this new term in newspaper, whatever, whenever you come across, please research about it. Regarding newspaper, of course in the episode 1 also we touched this, and we talked about this, and I told you that please read at least two newspapers. Why? Because you need to read the divergent views. Some newspapers may be little left from the center, some may be little right from the center. So you need to balance your views. So you need to see both sides of the coin. And also I told you that subconsciously, when we are only reading one newspapers, when we are only reading one kind of tone, like suppose we are reading too much of something which is left ideology is there, so then our writing becomes also like that subconsciously, and you will not even realize it, because you are yourself writing it and you will feel it's right. But to somebody who is neutral and somebody who understands this distinction, he will easily get that you are inclined in a particular, basically your views are lopsided and you are inclined in a particular ideology. So that is not something which is really appreciated in the writings, and you are expected to have balanced writings, neutral writings, and of course like well researched and well argumented, but of course a balanced viewpoint. So this is something, read at least two newspapers of your choice. I'm not gonna name them. Now coming to the next very important part of the preparation, that general studies has various subsections. For example, it will be geography will be there, polity will be there, economics will be there, science will be there, and so on and so forth. So these are basically subsections of general studies. Now, when I started preparing for this, there was hardly 3 months for the next prelim exam, of course, which I wanted to give, and so I did prioritize the GS, because you cannot complete the whole GS thing in 3 months. So I went for a few of the most important ones. So if you see the question paper, going back to the basics, if you go through the question paper, you will see that majority of the things are covered by polity. Majority of the questions, sorry, in the prelims exam, in the paper 1, are from this polity, history, economics, and just general science. So I covered these parts very well, extremely well, and I left the others because time was not there. And of course, at that time CSAT was introduced, so in being an engineer, I didn't have to do much about that. So little luck there. But in GS also, I focused on 3-4 these important subsections, and I tried to do the same drill and master the same drill, and it helped, and I was able to clear the prelims based on this prioritization. So sometimes this is not being suggested to those who have a lot of time and who are just starting, and you can basically do a good preparation before you give your prelims. This is just, I'm saying, when we are short on time, sometimes we need to prioritize, right? You cannot solve every question. Like in JEE, we talk about when we were in quota, we used to talk about we cannot solve all the questions, right? I mean, and all questions that they don't expect you to solve all the questions. I mean, in JEE, if you look, it's like if you get 50-60%, then you're through. So that was the level which was required, and you need to prioritize. You needed to prioritize then also, like what you want to attempt first and all that. So all those things. Just saying that the subsections of general studies, if there is a paucity of time, if you have the prelims exam coming and you suddenly find it difficult, you don't have the time to cover everything, then you can prioritize and select few very important parts. So now when you have subsections, you have standard reading this thing for all the subsections. Like for polity, there are very many books, T.D. Basu, Lakshmi Kant, and there are so many books on constitution and Indian polity. I am not going to, because this is a micro series, I am not going into all these micro details where you name the books and a simple Google search will give you all the book list. It is written on my blog also, geniespeaks.blogspot.com, and or many of the UPSC, those who have cleared in their blogs, they have mentioned the standard book list. A simple Google search will give you the standard book list. So for each subsection, go as per the standard book list, one book at a time, and always remember this thing, that whenever you are reading something, read it very nicely with 100% concentration, and then convert it into short notes. Like if there is a 400 page book, let's say you have started with polity, then you reduce it to 10 pages by making the keywords and everything and all that. There is also a video on my channel on how to make short notes. Go watch that if you want. So basically every book you reduce into short notes of like 5 pages, 10 pages, the minimum which you can. And then next time when you're preparing or next time when you're revising, you read some other book. For example, first time you have read Lakshmikant, next time you read D.D. Basu, something like that. Right? So you will get additional information. It won't be boring, because to read the one single book again and again, it's very challenging, and I don't suggest that. So I always tell the aspirants and students, whenever you're reading a book, reading with 100% concentration, reduce it to 10 pages, so that when you have to revise it, you just go through those 10 pages. And next, because in UPSC there are high chances that multiple attempts are required. So next time when you are preparing, then you read some other book on that subsection, and then add to your earlier you have made the short notes based on the first book. You add whatever new information is coming from the second book, and then the third, so on and so forth. I hope you don't have to do it multiple times and you clear your exam the first time. But this is very important, because we have to also ensure that the preparation doesn't become monotonous, right? Because the whole cycle is very long, the whole 1 year cycle. And if we don't, for example, if we reach up to the interviews and fail, then again we have to go through the prelims and then mains and then interviews. So it's a long cycle, it's a challenging time, and when we have to read again and again, it becomes very challenging. Because if you will see, the first year of preparation will be amazing. You're learning new things and new concepts. That yearning to learn is like kicking in, and it's all very good. But when you have to do it all over again, then the motivation comes down, and that is why I talk about motivation in this exam is very important, and we will be doing a special episode on how to keep yourself motivated. But so this is one way to keep yourself motivated, reading new books every time for the subsections of the general studies. So I hope this is clear, and for this I have a special video on my channel, so please go and watch how to make short notes. Now next point in your GS preparation, very important one again, is going through the yearbooks. Now there are many yearbooks, I don't want to specify names. The concept here is these are thick books, and they contain almost everything which has happened, all the important things as far as the government is concerned, as far as development is concerned, as far as the schemes are concerned. So all these, so essentially as far as UPSC is concerned, so this yearbook will contain all the important facts and figures and information. So when we go through the yearbook, we basically get an idea how the government is functioning, what are the chronologies, how these schemes kick in, how this production happens, how economies intermingle with each other, and so there's so many concepts, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a yearbook, and it will give you the overall picture of what you are looking at when you are preparing. So these yearbooks, of course, for the last, for example, if you are supposed to give this year the exam, then you should have read starting from 19, 20, 21, and now 22. Right, because current affairs or general studies are basically around these last 3-4 years. Essentially, the majority, I would say, comes from that. So it's a good practice even after you crack the UPSC or get on with some other profession. I think it's a wonderful way of staying in touch with general studies yearbook and how your country is progressing, what's new, what are the new technologies, what are the new schemes, what we have achieved in the whole year. I think it's a wonderful read, and all citizens of India, irrespective of UPSC preparation, should read these yearbooks. They're highly informative and highly motivating towards what's happening in the country. So this is again the one of the most important points. Now moving on to the next point is that just understanding a concept is not really enough now, as we touched upon this, that the mode of the exam is changing, what is expected from you is changing. Now you are not just expected to know what are cryptocurrencies. For example, if it was 10 to 15 years back from this point, UPSC would have asked what are cryptocurrencies, what are the most common cryptocurrencies, and what are the challenges. That's it. But now they will be asking in a different way, that what is legal tender and what is the relation between cryptocurrencies and legal tender. Should it be made a legal tender? And what is the future of cryptocurrencies 10 years from now? Which countries have already done this, done that? So it will be more into the analysis of the cryptocurrencies and how it can be maybe operationalized for the benefit of everyone, and how it has to be regulated. That is also very important question now. So all these questions become important now, and the analysis is more out there, and that is now UPSC would ask in these days, the more conceptual kind of thing. So you need to understand both sides. Now to write a good answer, you need just, if you understand the concept, that's fine. But what are the pros, what are the cons, what are the pros of adopting these new technologies, what are the pros, cons we have to be careful about. So all those things sometimes are difficult to grasp just by reading. So I often tell the aspirants, please watch these debates, and by debates, because now these days every news channel has become, they have their own branding of debating, and but there the debate is like who is the loudest and who is the funniest, or who uses the most filthy words. So that kind of debate I'm not talking about. Genuine debates, I mean, there are a lot of debates. If YouTube again offers you a great medium, and yes, apart from that, it came to my mind, also go through these TED Talks. TED Talks on various important issues, and it's very educative. There is a channel on educative talks as well, and the TED Talks are by people who expertise in certain phenomena or concepts, and it's very interesting, and it will be again really motivating as well. By some civil servants and by some social sector workers, also TED Talks are there. So please go through these TED Talks as well. These debates, whenever you find time, whenever it's on television, news, and important topics, socio political or economics related issues are there, are being discussed. Please watch it if it makes sense, if they are making sense, if they are giving the right kind of arguments and not just out loud. So these social issues, political issues, and economic issues, these are important. So whenever you get an opportunity to attend the debate as well, or if it's going on somewhere in the Constitution Club or something like that, so live also you can attend, or you can watch on these channels and TV to know the different sides of the concept. Now this again is very important here also. It makes sense to read more newspapers, because they may present different views of the same concept. For example, when this Aadhaar enrollment was starting, and there was a push for cover and to link all the welfare schemes with this Aadhaar enrollment, and still the debate continues. Then we needed this understanding, like what exactly is happening behind, and how the government is trying to make it more secure, how it is saving crores and crores of rupees in terms of removing duplicates from various schemes, welfare schemes, and there were various sides to this whole debate, and it needed a lot of research to understand it in totality. So to that is the whole point I'm mentioning here, that watch debates that will surprise you, that there are so many different points. Sometimes it doesn't come to our mind even if we have researched a lot on a particular topic, unless we hear it from somebody or we read the answers written by others. We come to know these different points and different perspectives, and it's very interesting because we all are different, and we, although we might be reading the same stuff when we are preparing for UPSC, but when it comes to the online available information and what people do research, so there is an incremental prep apart from what you receive from the standard book list, right? So there are different points which we may miss, others may pick up. So it's always very beneficial to listen to these debates for different perspectives, for different points, for different kind of, to understanding basically the all sides of a discussion which is going on. So another very important and last point for this video is that yes, we talked in the episode 1 also, we talked about the importance of writing, because mains exam carries the most, and writing skills are very pivotal to clearing this exam. And since most of the exam 80% is based on the general studies, so that one answer should be more about the general studies. For example, we talked today that you are reading the newspaper and you came across a word legal tender and you did not understand it, and then you did your research and then you now understand it. So why not write an answer on that particular topic which you have researched today? So that will consolidate basically your what you have researched, and you will have notes, proper answer written on that very important topic. It will also improve your this writing skills. So many benefits of doing that. So I would suggest that one answer every day what you're writing should be a GS topic, or should be what you have researched today after reading the newspaper and after coming across some new term. So that will be the best idea. And why this GS answer practice is required? Because you see, first of all, most of the thing is GS, 80% of it. There are 4 question papers in the mains, and then it is a very challenging thing to write these answers, because you have to make it concise and you have to ensure that more points are mentioned. So GS is not about how beautiful your writing skills are, how beautiful and flowery language you can use, how cursively you can write, how you can decorate, but it is about these two things: how concise you can present your maximum number of facts, because time is limited, word is limited, questions are many. So but then to get more marks, the most important thing is, I would say, to make it concise, but at the same time it should have more points. So this comes with practice. This is a different kind of writing style. For example, optional will be a little different approach, and essay will be a certainly different approach, but writing for your general studies is a different approach altogether. So that is why it requires some kind of practice, and the sooner you start the better, and that is why I have included in this particular video. So I hope these all points will help you to prepare for your general studies. These nature of these videos I'm keeping very generic, because this is a micro module, fast-paced module of 10 episodes, which is supposed to help you in your general studies. I'm not going into very specifics, because that is something if you have to do on your own, and everything is available on the internet. It's just a search away. And I hope this structuring, I am only here to help you in the structuring part of your preparation, so that you do smart preparation, so that in less, because you have decided to do self preparation, so in less time, how to get the best out of these resources. So that is the very objective of this module, and I hope you are liking the episodes. If you want me to cover some specific topics, please mention in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon, and please share it with your friends who are or who have who there is a chance of they going into this self preparation mode for any exam. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode. Thank you.